Good morning. Welcome to the Lunch and Chat with Leslie broadcast. I am very early this morning. Actually, I'm probably late because it's supposed to start at 8:30, but I'm here. I'm just honored and thankful to God to be able to stream another broadcast to you. I'm Leslie Parker, as I mentioned to you before, and I'm doing a special segment to honor the 2,997 victims that lost their lives and the first responders of 9/11. Would you believe it's been over 20 years since the horrific events took place in the United States that will never be forgotten? And unfortunately, the survivors and the family members of the victims will always relive that horrible event that took place on 9/11. This is why we should honor the 2,997 victims, first responders, and survivors. I can't imagine what the victims and the first responders were mentally going through. I don't know about you, but I remember when I first learned about the planes crashing in the Twin Towers. I was watching TV and I was watching this news program and I thought it was a movie. It didn't seem real. I thought something, was just going on. They were practicing something until I got a call from other people was saying that the planes had struck the first tower and it went down. And immediately, I panicked because my daughter was in school at the time, my youngest daughter. So I got myself together and did the best I could to get there, but it was really horrific. So for us, we were able to get through it. We weren't there. But for those survivors that are still, I'm sure this is just reliving a moment, every 9/11, for the rest of their lives, they will always remember that event. So I felt like it was a very special time to commemorate the ones that have lost their lives and also to celebrate the ones that are still, that are still here. And even the first responders. I mean, there were a lot of first responders, what I'm going to get into later on, that lost their lives and they are still going through it, believe it or not. Even though 9/11 is over with, they have succumbed to some of the illnesses, cancer and some other things. So we need to definitely keep them in prayer. I am going to have a few minutes of silence in a little bit where we can have for them. But I wanted to also let you know that the attacks that killed the 2,977 people were from 93 nations. 2,753 people were killed in New York. I'm going to break it down for you. 184 people were killed at the Pentagon, and 40 people were killed on Flight 93. All of these people are heroes. Even the ones that died, they are heroes. The towers have been the target, believe it or not, of an attack before 9/11. And I just recently, I guess a couple of years ago, I found out about it. So in February of 1993, terrorists were linked to an Islamic extremist group that detonated explosives, in a van during that time at the World Trade Center. But 9/11 is shorthand for 4 coordinated terrorist attacks that was carried out by Al Qaeda, and we still have to be careful because the United States, I thank God for our servicemen for protecting us, but we're still facing the chance of having an attack against us. But for right now, we are going to at least take a few minutes of just silence for the victims, because I'm going to take you through the timeline. So if you can bear with me, and let's just have a moment of silence. Thank you so much. And I failed to ask any of the viewers if any of your relatives were involved. I know a lot of people have relatives from New York, and believe it or not, I know during that time I forgot where I was working, but there was a coworker of mine whose relatives were I don't know if they were part of the victims, but they did work at the World Trade Center. So we need to be mindful that, this is a serious event that took place during that time, and to always remember, other people are what they're going through. But anyway, I'm going to share with you a timeline, if you bear with me, of the events, and I'll take you through it. Give me 1 second. Okay, hopefully you can see my screen, but what you're looking at right here is what took place at 8:46 when the hijackers crashed American Airlines Flight 11 into the North Tower of the World Trade Center. Then at 9:03, the hijackers crashed United Airlines Flight 175 into the South Tower. So the other one was the North Tower. The second plane crashed and made it apparent that this was a planned attack and it wasn't an accident. And then at 9:05, President Bush received that call about, he began reading, I know he was reading his book to elementary school students in a time in Florida with the chief of staff, Andrew Card, tells him that a second plane has crashed into the World Trade Center. Then at 9:37, hijackers crashed American Airlines Flight 77 into the Pentagon. I mean, I can only imagine. Just look at it. Look at this chaos. And are we blessed? Yes, we are. Then at 9:42, the Federal Aviation Administration grounds all flights to the United States. 9:45, the White House and the U.S. Capitol are evacuated. Then at 9:56, the South Tower collapses for the first time in known history. The White House requests that the implementation of continuity of government measures. The White House also requests fighter escorts for Air Force for one and a fighter combat air patrol over Washington, D.C. Then at 10:03, the United Airlines Flight 93 crashes in southern Pennsylvania after a struggle on board between a team of hijackers and the flight passengers. Wow. I mean, I'm just getting choked up now just seeing this. It's horrible. Al-Qaeda members later claimed that the intended target was the United States Capitol building in Washington, D.C. Then at 10:28, excuse me, I'm sorry. This is horrible. At 10:28, the North Tower collapses. The collapse of the World Trade Center caused an immense plume of toxic dust, which I'm going to talk to you about later on, and how this is still affecting the survivors. Throughout the lower Manhattan, tens and thousands of people have reported long-term medical conditions such as respiratory disease, COPD, you name it, and cancer. 11:02, New York City Mayor Rudy Giuliani, I'm sorry, to get myself together, orders an evacuation of the lower Manhattan. The U.S. Coast Guard led an evacuation of more than 500,000 people from the lower Manhattan following the World Trade Center because they feared, that this attack wasn't over with. Since it was going on, there probably were more things that was coming until they got a hold of what was happening, a handle of, everything that was going on. Then hundreds of firefighters from the New York City Fire Department rushed to the World Trade Center to help rescue the survivors. And yes, we lost a lot of first responders. 343 members of the New York City Fire Department died in 9/11 attacks as they attempted to save people's lives. Most perished either after entering the building or following the plane crash or by being hit by the debris. Then at 5:20 p.m., the World Trade Center Building 7, according to Mike Seegers, it's a 47-story building adjacent to the Twin Towers collapsed after debris falling from the neighboring buildings and caused it to catch fire. The September 11 attacks caused almost 3,000 fatalities. As I mentioned to you, there were 2,997 victims and tens of thousands of injuries, as well as long-term health problems of people exposed to that dust and that debris. Then at 8:30 p.m., President Bush addresses the nation from the White House, and he says, today, our fellow citizens, our way of life, our very freedom came under attack in a series of deliberate and deadly terrorist attacks. The rubble of the World Trade Center smolders a day after the 9/11 attacks. So can you imagine being up close and in person seeing this? We're somewhere in other states, but I remember my daughter, my oldest daughter, gave birth to my granddaughter, and that's what she had to watch because my granddaughter was born September the 13th. So when it started, 9/11, it was constant reshowing of this horrific event, and it was just horrible. It was dreadful. It was depressing. So I just can't imagine, just anyone going through this. But anyway, I'm going to go over this. I'm also going to talk a little bit, but I do have a special guest that's going to come on, which I'm so grateful for this person that wanted to step up and do something to commemorate the survivors, to commemorate the victims, as well as the first responders. But 9/11 Memorial and Museum History.com. You can go on there, and according to that, you can, be able to see more information about that. Okay, I'm going to stop sharing this. Thank you so much for being patient during this morning. But I also want to talk to you just briefly about the emergency workers that were killed in September 11 attacks. I'm going to break it down for you again. I'll let you know there are 343 firefighters that lost their lives. It was included a chaplain and 2 paramedics of the New York City Fire Department. 37 of the victims were police officers of the Port Authority of New York and New Jersey Police Department. 23 officers of the New York City Police Department, and there were 8 emergency medical technicians and paramedics from private emergency medical services that came to help to pull together. And 3 New York State court officers passed away that day. Also, it has been reported that over 1,400 9/11 rescue workers who responded to the scene in the days and months after the attack have since died. So this isn't a little bit thing that we're talking about, but believe it or not, I'm going to check and see if my guest is ready. So if you give me 1 second, I believe they are ready, but I'm going to double check. But while I'm checking on this, I want to let you know that the COVID death among the 9/11 first responders and survivors are getting worse because of the fact they have a lot of underlying conditions. So please keep them in prayer because it's, it's been 2 decades, since this has happened. And unfortunately, There was one police officer just recently, I'm going to bring up his name. He was a police officer. His name was Stephen Brandall. He had joined the New York City Police Department. And God, he spent another 5 years with the department before retiring in 2006. But in late December, he had contracted COVID and he was hospitalized and was put on life support for about 6 weeks. But according to his wife, Gladys, he wasn't able to pull through. So it is estimated that 400,000 people that were exposed to 9/11, are you listening to me? The 400,000 people that were exposed to the 9/11 toxic dust in the aftermath of the attacks are still going through health issues. They are still facing adversity down the road. So that's why we still have to pay honor to the ones that survive, the ones that have passed. We are keeping their families up in prayer because it is something that we have to address. But okay, give me 1 second. Hello, Sergeant Parker. Yes. Sergeant Push. Okay, I'm getting ready to bring you on. Are you ready?
I am going to StreamYard right now.
Okay. All right. I'm getting ready to bring you in. Thank you. All right. Just reached out to my guest. He's going to come on. So give me 1 second. Well, he told me he was there. I don't see him yet. He said he was going there, so he'll be there. But anyway, I'll talk to you some more until he gets on. Okay. I'm not going to hold you like I mentioned to you before. It's just a special broadcast. And my viewers know I am not a morning person. I normally do the broadcast at 7 o'clock at night. But, I just felt compelled to do this. It was just so much information that I wanted to share with you. But I wanted to also tell you that out of all the people that were attacked, the special guest, his name is Patrick Parker, aka Sergeant Pushup. He's going to come on and he's going to do not all of the 2,000 push-ups in front of us. It's going to take him a couple hours, but he is going to do some of the push-ups to get it started. So let me see if he is ready and I will bring him on. Yes, he is. Okay. Hello there.
Hello. How are you?
I'm doing fine. Where are you, Sergeant Pushup?
So I am in Killeen, Texas, which we are an hour behind.
Oh, okay. I forgot all about that. Okay.
Yes, we are an hour behind.
Okay, so actually it's 8 o'clock. It's going on 8 o'clock instead of 9 o'clock.
Yes.
Okay. Well, you know what? I appreciate you coming on. I did wanted to know what was your, first of all, how are you doing today?
Every day is an amazing day, and every day is an opportunity in order to be better and do better and grow. But today is special because I remember what happened 20 years ago, and I was devastated and I was shocked and awed as most people, human beings, were across the world, not only in America.
Absolutely. So what is not even what is your goal, but why? Why do you do the things you do? Why do you want to commemorate the victims, especially for today, for 9/11?
Well, me being a veteran, that's what we do. We serve. We serve because we love the country. We serve because we love our fellow citizens. We serve because we want to pass the baton on, and we want to continue to have freedom. So that's why we serve. So it's for me to do those push-ups on 9/11, 20 years later, it only makes sense.
Okay. So, how many are you going to start us with this morning? I know you're going to do 2,997. I'm sorry,
Yes.
throughout the day, but can you at least start us off with some push-ups
Well, I'm going to start you off
with
with
900, 900?
I'm going to start you off with 11. Okay.
Okay.
And that will be the first 11 victims of 9/11.
Okay. And where are you doing your push-ups?
So, as I said, I'm in Killeen. I'm at a dealership called Kia, but it is an hour earlier than you. So, no one's here right now. So,
Okay.
I'm beside my vehicle, beside the Sergeant push-up vehicle, and I'll be knocking out these push-ups right here. And I'll be knocking out these push-ups right here, right now, because no one's here. We're an hour behind.
Okay. Okay. I got you. All right. Well, you know what? I have you streaming live, so you can always go back and, show the dealership that, well, at least let the dealership know that you appreciate them for allowing you to do your push-ups. So go right ahead.
All right, I'm ready to knock out the first 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. All right. And
Excellent.
actually, someone from the dealership just showed up. He actually, you can't see, he just walked by. So that's good.
That's great. Okay. So are you prepared? You just knocked out 11. Are you prepared to do the other 2,900? Let me get it right. 86.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, my math is good. Whew, this morning, I tell you. Oh, wonderful. Well, tell me, do you have a few more minutes to talk with me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
We're setting up in here, so.
Okay.
Good.
Great. Just a couple more questions. So, where else will you be doing? Are you just doing it there today, or will you be
I'm just
doing?
doing it here today. You
Okay.
don't want to move around when you're doing that many push-ups.
Okay.
You want to stay right there,
Oh, I
knock
could,
it out.
I could do 2,000.
Yeah. A lot of people tell me they can do that, but a lot of people not driving across the country and doing everything that I do.
That's true. Okay. That is so true. Well, look, I have oh wow, people are on. I tell you, early in the morning. I'm so glad. I have two of my friends that are on. They're praying. That's great. I did a very nice segment before I streamed you in. And a friend of mine, her name is Tawana Taylor. She's praying. Another friend of mine, Sheila Hall. Sheila Hall's also is praying for the
Thank you so
victims.
much. I'm going to need all the prayers. We're good to go. Oh yeah. Okay.
Okay. Well, I'm not going to hold you up. I just wanted to get you in here for the 11 push-ups, and I know you got 2,986 more to go. You have a blessed day, a safe day, and take care.
Thank you so much for the opportunity. Thank you for caring about the nation to share and do a segment on something that's so important. I greatly appreciate you and everything that you do for your community as well. Before we go, we'll knock out another 20.
Okay.
We'll let you go.
Okay. All right.
All right.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. All right. Very good. Thank you, Sergeant Pushup. And thank you for what you do for the community as well. You have a great day.
You as well.
All right. There you have it. My special guest, Sergeant Pushup, who's now in Texas doing push-ups. Unbelievable. Anyway, I'm not going to hold you. I thank you for those that were able to come on. And if you want to look at it later on, please do. Take care, and you have a wonderful day, and keep those victims, the first responders, and the survivors in your heart.